Hey YouTube. Alright, today I'm actually going to do a story time about the first time I ever got pulled over. My mom actually gave me the idea for this one because she called me today and told me that my grandpa, who is 92, got pulled over today for driving his lady friend's car. And they pulled him over and were like, "Oh, you're the owner of this car? Should you even be allowed driving it?" So I'm going to tell you about the first time I ever got pulled over. And I freaked out because I was scared. So in high school, I drove a white Mustang. Picture me driving around, little me in a Mustang. And I thought I was some hot crap. I really did. I thought I was cool for having that car. But really, it was just the most inefficient, gas, terrible, guzzling car ever. And because I lived out in the country, whenever I went anywhere, it would use like all my tank. So one day my friend, she invited me to come over to her house, and this was before I had a GPS, or this was before smartphones had built-in GPS. So I just had a regular little flip phone. I think I had the Envy back then, if you remember that, and I did not have GPS. So she just told me to go this way, and I was following on a main road, but the main road actually split off and was not lined, and the road I was on was lined, and I was like, oh, that must be the main road that continues on. I, however, was wrong, and I just was driving around wherever, don't even know where I was, out in the middle of nowhere, and eventually I came out into a little town called Williamsburg, and just came out, and I was like, oh, don't know what town this is, because I came out in the middle of it and there was no signs, and I started driving through the town, and I had no idea what the speed limit was, and I was on the back roads, and remember me being in my Mustang at 17, thought I was some hot crap, and was going like 60 through town, and I got pulled over. Now, I've never been pulled over. Well, actually, lie. I did get pulled over when I had my temps for driving too slow. Again, I was scared, and I was driving with my grandpa and got pulled over for driving too slow, and they were like, you need to drive on back roads, not main roads, if you're going to practice driving. But anyway, this time I got pulled over for driving way over the speed limit through town. And I've never been pulled over by myself, so I pulled off to the side of the road and immediately jumped out of the car, and they were like, whoa, man, you can't do that. I'm surprised I did not get a gun pulled on me, because I literally just jumped out of the car and was freaking out because I had never been pulled over, and I probably looked like I was a crazy person, because who does that, right? Who does that? They just normally just sit there. But no, I jump out of the car, and I'm freaking out, and there's two guys in this SUV, and I have a license plate that's a bit suggestive. I'm not going to say what it is. I've had it though since I've got my license, and I could see them just sitting in the back like laughing at me as they're like typing in. Once they got back in the car, because they were like, ma'am, you have to get back in your car, you can't just jump out onto the street when you get pulled over. That's not how this works. Get back in your car. So I get back in my car, and I'm freaking out, and I didn't get a ticket, so I didn't like cry, because they just let me go, because they finally come back and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm lost. I'm trying to get to my friend's house, and I have absolutely no idea where I'm at. Please help me. And they're like, ma'am, calm down. You are going to be okay. You are in blah, blah, blah town. And I'm like, oh, that's like 10 minutes from where I'm supposed to be, when I literally thought I was like in China somewhere. Like, that's how off the beaten path I thought I was. But no, I really was like 10 minutes from where I needed to be. She actually lives pretty much in Williamsburg, and I made it to her house eventually after that. But it was traumatizing to be pulled over when I was 17, because I jumped out of my car and I thought I was a crazy person. I have been pulled over other times now for speeding and for running the stop sign, and I'm a bad driver, so